Yeah, I got cancer. So I've got cancer, found out about it 3 weeks.
Michael Douglas, the Oscar-winning legend who defined Hollywood for decades, has just shared heartbreaking news that has left fans in disbelief. At 81, after a lifetime of unforgettable performances, Michael has announced he is saying goodbye. But the pain doesn't end there. He revealed that he's facing the consequences of a tragic health diagnosis, one tied to his battle with stage 4 throat cancer back in 2010. Though he survived that fight, the lasting effects have come back in a way that now makes it impossible for him to continue his career. What makes this even more emotional is that Michael has admitted he blames himself, knowing his past lifestyle choices played a role in the illness that changed his life forever. So what is this new diagnosis that has forced him to step away from the spotlight? Stay with us as we reveal the heartbreaking truth behind Michael Douglas's farewell. In 2010, people around the world were shocked when Michael Douglas, one of Hollywood's most respected actors, announced that he had been diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer. Just like Norah O'Donnell, whose normal doctor visit turned into a nightmare, Michael never imagined that a simple sore throat would lead to such terrifying news. For months, Michael felt pain while swallowing and had a constant sore throat. He thought it was because of stress, long work hours, his past habits of smoking and drinking, or just aging. But as time passed, the pain got worse. Finally, doctors asked him to come in for scans and tests. One afternoon, while sitting at home, Michael received a phone call that changed his life forever. "I'm sorry, Michael, but you have stage 4 cancer," the doctor said quietly. Michael froze. His wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, looked at him with disbelief. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "No, this can't be true." Michael felt as if the world had gone silent. He wondered, am I going to die? Is this how my story ends? Doctors found a large tumor at the base of his tongue. It wasn't just a normal cancer. It was aggressive and dangerous. At first, he believed it was caused by smoking and alcohol, but later in a 2013 interview, Michael revealed something even more shocking. His doctors told him that his cancer was most likely caused by HPV, a virus many people know very little about. This made him feel confused and scared. He kept asking himself, could I have stopped this? Why didn't I get checked earlier? His treatment began quickly. The doctors suggested a powerful combination of chemotherapy and radiation. For 8 long weeks, Michael went through treatment every single day. It was painful. His mouth and throat were full of sores. He couldn't eat solid food. He lost more than 30 lbs. His voice became weak. He once said, "It completely knocks you out. You feel like you're disappearing." But even during this dark time, Michael did something many people wouldn't. He kept working. He continued promoting his movie Wall Street. Money never sleeps. He stood in front of cameras with a brave smile, even though his body was weak and his mind was full of fear. At home, things were even harder. Catherine tried her best to be strong, but watching the love of her life suffer broke her heart. His children asked innocent questions like, "Daddy, are you going to die?" Michael hugged them and said, "No, I'll be okay." Even though deep down he was scared and unsure, nights were the hardest. Michael couldn't sleep. He thought about his life, his family, his mistakes, and whether he would ever see his children grow up. He wondered if all this was his fault, the smoking, the stress, the years of not paying attention to his health. But then, after months of treatment and pain, something incredible happened. Michael's doctor called again. This time the news was hopeful. "The cancer hasn't spread. The treatment is working," the doctor said. Tears of relief ran down Michael's face. For the first time, he felt like he might survive this battle. Slowly, he began to recover. Scans later confirmed that he was cancer-free. The nightmare was finally over. But the experience changed him forever. Michael started using his voice to help others. He talked openly about HPV-related cancers and encouraged everyone to get regular checkups. He worked with cancer awareness organizations and spoke at medical events, saying, "If my story can help someone else find cancer early and survive, then everything I went through has a purpose." Now at 81 years old, Michael Douglas is cancer-free, but he is not the same man he once was. He is softer, calmer, and far more grateful for life. Physically, he is stable. The cancer has not returned, but the years of treatment, aging, and emotional stress have slowed him down. His energy isn't the same. He takes more time to rest, eats carefully, and attends regular health checkups. Michael has stepped away from the fast-paced Hollywood life. He hasn't acted since 2022 by choice. He said he does not want to be someone who drops dead on a movie set. The awards, cameras, and fame no longer matter to him the way they once did. His days now are simple and peaceful. Morning walks, time with Catherine, dinners with his children, quiet moments of reflection. He spends more time being a husband, a father, and a survivor rather than a movie star. But he hasn't fully disappeared. Michael still uses his voice to spread awareness about HPV-related cancers and the importance of early detection. He speaks gently but powerfully, urging people to get vaccinated, get tested, and never ignore the signs their body gives them. In 2018, journalist and author Susan Brody came forward with disturbing recollections from her time working with Michael Douglas in 1989 when she was in her 40s and served as his assistant. She described a workplace environment shadowed by his alleged inappropriate behavior, claiming that his frequent degrading Sewell remarks left her feeling compelled to hide her figure under loose clothing. Brody also recounted an intensely uncomfortable incident during a one-on-one script meeting where she claimed Douglas exposed himself in her presence. The allegations emerging decades later cast a dark and uneasy shadow over memories of Hollywood's golden corridors, blending glamour with the grim realities that often linger behind the scenes. Douglas responded with a statement acknowledging his coarse language but firmly denying any other misconduct. Amid the public scrutiny, Catherine Zeta-Jones offered measured support, affirming her husband's alignment with the Me Too movement while expressing personal satisfaction with his declaration. The episode serves as a stark reminder of the complex, sometimes painful human stories intertwined with the allure of stardom. Michael Douglas began his journey into film during the late 1960s and early 1970s, appearing in smaller, often overlooked projects like Hail, Hero, Adam at 6 a.m., and Summertree. Even then, glimpses of his potential were visible. His performance in Hail, Hero earned him a Golden Globe nomination for Most Promising Male Newcomer. In 1969, he took a decisive step into independence, founding his first production company, Big Stick Productions, signaling a young actor eager to carve his own path in Hollywood's sprawling landscape. His earliest television work, including the CBS Playhouse special, The Experiment, saw him billed as M.K. Douglas, a brief nod to an identity he would soon leave behind as he embraced his own vision. Douglas's first lasting breakthrough arrived with the crime drama series The Streets of San Francisco, 1972 to 1976, starring alongside the venerable Carl Malden. Their partnership extended beyond the screen. Malden became a mentor and lifelong influence, someone Douglas described as deeply admired and loved. During this period, Douglas also explored production, acquiring the rights from his father, Kirk, to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The film, ultimately starring Jack Nicholson under Milos Forman's direction, brought Douglas his first Academy Award as a producer, cementing his dual identity as both actor and shrewd filmmaker. After leaving television, Douglas began selecting roles that blended commercial appeal with intellectual weight. He appeared as a hospital doctor in Coma, 1978, and as a troubled marathon runner in Running 1979, while simultaneously producing and starring in The China Syndrome, a film about a nuclear accident that eerily anticipated the 3 Mile Island incident just days after its release. These choices reflected a young artist seeking resonance beyond mere entertainment, striking a balance between suspense, social awareness, and drama. Douglas's rise to mainstream stardom came with a 1984 romantic adventure, Romancing the Stone, a film that reintroduced him as a leading man capable of charm, wit, and grit. His collaborations with Kathleen Turner and Danny DeVito, friends and longtime companions, established a rhythm that would recur in hits like The Jewel of the Nile and The War of the Roses. In 1987, he became a cultural touchstone with Fatal Attraction in Wall Street, the latter earning him an Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayal of Gordon Gekko, an emblem of greed and ambition that captured the zeitgeist of the 1980s. The 1990s saw Douglas navigating a spectrum of roles that combined provocative themes and commercial appeal. He starred in Basic Instinct, igniting both acclaim and controversy for its daring exploration of sexuality. He explored psychological tension in Disclosure and societal critique in Falling, while balancing lighter fare like The American President. Douglas also expanded his production ventures, forming companies such as Douglas, Ruther Productions, and further films reflecting his continued desire to shape cinematic narratives from behind the camera. Entering the new millennium, Douglas demonstrated an enduring versatility. He earned accolades for ensemble work in Traffic 2000, and individual recognition in Wonder Boys, portraying a writer grappling with creative paralysis. Films like It Runs in the Family 2003 honored his familial legacy, while The Sentinel 2006 and guest appearances on Will and Grace revealed his willingness to experiment with genre and medium. Lifetime achievements soon followed, including the Cecil B. DeMille Award 2004 and the American Film Institute's Lifetime Achievement Award 2009. Douglas's later career blended nostalgia, reinvention, and reflective choices. His portrayal of Liberace in Behind the Candelabra 2013 earned him Emmy, SAG, and Golden Globe honors, while comedies like Las Vegas and romantic fare such as And So It Goes highlighted his enduring charm. He entered the superhero realm as Hank Pym in the Ant-Man films, connecting new generations to his work. In 2018, his Golden Globe-winning performance in The Kominsky Method captured the poignant humor and vulnerability of aging, while appearances in international projects like Animal World and voice work in Green Eggs and Ham demonstrated his global appeal. By the mid-2020s, Douglas embraced semi-retirement, reflecting on decades of cinematic triumph and personal growth. He starred in Franklin 2024 as Benjamin Franklin, immersing himself in history with the same dedication he had brought to his most intimate roles. In 2025, he announced that he had largely stepped away from acting, a decision tinged with the bittersweet awareness of mortality. A man who had witnessed the peaks and pitfalls of Hollywood, who had crafted legends on screen and screenplays alike, now choosing to honor his life beyond the lens. Through triumph, controversy, and reinvention, Michael Douglas's career remains a tapestry of risk, resilience, and reflection, a testament to an artist fully engaged with both the craft and the fleeting nature of fame. After the filming of Summer Tree in 1971, Michael Douglas entered a lengthy, high-profile relationship with actress Brenda Vaccaro, which endured for nearly 6 years, marking his first adult romance in the public eye. In March 1977, he married Dandra Lusser, a young woman 12 years his junior and the daughter of an Austrian diplomat. Their union brought a son, Cameron, into the world in 1978, but after nearly 2 decades together, the marriage dissolved in 1995, with Dandra receiving a settlement of $45 million. Life moved on for both. She later remarried into nobility, connecting tangentially to royalty in a twist of fate. In March 1999, Douglas's life took a new turn when he met Welsh actress Catherine Zeta-Jones in Deauville, France. Their connection was immediate and profound, with Douglas famously declaring his desire to father her children. They married on November 18, 2000, welcoming son Dylan Michael that same year, and daughter Cara Zeta in 2003, building a family life across multiple homes in New York, Canada, and Spain, including a serene coastal estate in Majorca. Even a brief separation in 2013 tested their bond, but the couple reconciled, a quiet testament to the endurance and complexity of love in the shadow of fame, through heartbreak, reconciliation, and enduring commitment. Douglas's personal life mirrors the reflective highs and lows of his cinematic journey. In 1997, Michael Douglas found himself at the center of an unusual legal battle when New York caddy James Parker filed a $25 million lawsuit claiming that an errant golf ball had struck him in the groin and caused lasting distress. The case, sensational at the time, was ultimately settled quietly out of court, leaving behind a mix of bemusement and cautionary reflection about the unexpected consequences of fame and leisure. Several years later, in 2004, Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones faced a far more sinister intrusion into their lives. A stalker, Dawn at Night, began sending violent, threatening letters, targeting Zeta-Jones with graphic depictions of harm that left her trembling and fearful of a nervous breakdown. Knight confessed that her obsession with Douglas had driven her actions, which spanned from late 2003 to mid-2004. The ordeal culminated in Knight receiving a 3-year prison sentence, but the emotional scars lingered. a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities that come with public life. Through these trials, Douglas and Zeta Jones navigated fear and intrusion with resilience, highlighting the often unseen costs of celebrity and the fragile boundary between admiration and danger.